So we got a message from Toby, says want self-worth. Got a message from Gail, says, hey dude, time to record. Got a message from Matt, says passion, purpose, and direction, specifically direction and preparing oneself to make major life changes. Look forward to covering that for you guys. Thank you. These are powerful topics. You know, when we talk about passion, purpose, and direction, there's this thing that, there's this quote that sets this one up perfectly. It says, if everyone were doing what they loved, we would have world peace.
These are powerful topics.
If everyone were doing what they loved, we would have world peace.
Direction.
Marcia, please mute yourself.
Okay.
So if everyone were doing what they loved, we would have world peace. So it's very important. And the next thing is dollars follow value. So the more value we provide, the more dollars we receive. And there's nowhere else that we can provide more value than in our passion and our purpose. But many times we discover our passion and our purpose, but then we become starving artists who then don't thrive because we don't have a clear direction and we don't understand the principles of prosperity that govern prosperity. Audrey Nicole, Lee, welcome. Audrey Nicole, you have some questions or comments here. Accountability can always be better. Settling better in my feminine energy. Relationships can always be better as well. I personally take on too much at times. Great shares, Audrey. Thank you. Nikki Bailey, welcome. Leona, welcome. Again, guys, we got two meetings happening here. We got the Facebook Live right here. We have Zoom over here. Zoom, you get to interact with me live. There's a link on my page. You can click there. I'll see you on video. We'll get to interact live. Facebook Live, you can type in your questions. Anthony John Amex, welcome. Thank you for joining me, brother. I honor you. It's good to have you here. So if you're on live, make sure you click up and subscribe in the corner there. Click the subscribe button so that you can continue to receive these valuable trainings. If you have a question and you know the topic you want to cover, go look on my Facebook wall. You'll see the topics: relationships, self-worth, divine masculine, feminine, etc. Lottie, what about balancing a great marriage, family, good money, and spirituality? How to better balance it all once you have it? Happy, but feeling spread thin. Yes, yes, yes. Conversation starter, 10 comments so far. Your audience is growing. 25 people are watching right now. Oh, I'm getting now feedback from Facebook Live. Yes, gladly, Anthony. All right, so let's start to dive in one topic at a time. Let's start with relationships. We'll go down the list as we go, and I'll continue to take your questions as we go. So relationships. I'll do a brief training on each topic, and then you can post questions as we go. In relationships, they're not what we've been sold that they are, and it's not about meeting the right person and living happily ever after. It's about meeting the person who's best going to trigger your shit to help you heal and transform into the most powerful version of yourself by exposing every unloved place within you and helping you to bring love to those places so that ultimately you become untriggerable. You become free of all your judgments, your control, your resistance, your pain. And as we face as that relationship shows up as a mirror to reflect to us all that we don't love about ourselves, all that we don't like about ourselves. If we continue to act like a victim, we will blame the relationship and or the person in front of us for our problems. If we choose to allow everything in our world to be a blessing and a gift and a learning opportunity, we will take everything that surfaces in our relationship and utilize it to expose what's unloved within us and to destroy everything that's unloved within us so that all that's left is love. Thank you. We got a hashtag better than Tony Robbins. Thank you. And we got a couple of like, hey, here. I agree. Thank you. Yes, this is much more than a positive thinking speech. This is, anyone who knows me knows that I'm not interested in giving you a pep rally. I'm not interested in getting you psyched up. I'm not interested in giving you a false high that'll last for a minute and drop you. I'm interested in going to the depths, to the root. I'm interested in, if there's a weed growing and we rip the top off, it's just going to grow back. But if we go to the root, we can actually free ourselves permanently from those weeds that are growing in our minds. This is about going to the roots. This is about finding the principles that govern all things and empowering ourselves to be free permanently. It's complete and total liberation on all fronts. To completely love our lives, to completely thrive, to align with our purpose and why we're here, what we were created for, to feel fulfilled and happy and loving and peaceful and prosperous. So back to the relationships topic, they show us everything that's unloved within us. And then the more we love those things, the more we can love all people and all things, and we can show up and be the blessings and gift that we were meant to be. And when we can fulfill our life purpose, which if we simplify life purpose, it's simply to answer the call for love wherever you hear it. You're here to answer the call for love wherever you hear it. Think about that for a minute. Where do you hear the call for love? Do you see people that are obese and struggling with their health and dying young? Do you see people that are divorced and miserable? Do you see people that are depressed, calling out for love? Justin Bear, welcome to the call. Aaron Clark, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. Such an amazing group of people. Invite everyone to take a few breaths. You know, one of the things that we can best do for ourselves in today's information overload era is to expand our attention spans. Jay Williams, welcome to the call. Elizabeth Hunter Diamond, welcome to the call. So again, everyone, please take a few breaths. One of the best things we can do in this information overload era is to expand our attention span. We've become addicted to more information, faster, move faster. If someone takes 3 seconds too long to pull out onto the street, we're like, what the hell, man? Freaking out. Jeremy, welcome to the call. Robert, welcome to the call. Everyone, please be sure to subscribe and like and send me lots of love. So keep these things going and get the message out to more people. So let's expand our attention span by breathing and being present moment to moment and allowing ourselves to slow down and not get so irritated and in a hurry. There's plenty of time and space. One of the best things we can do is slow down and breathe. Relax. So I've been talking about the topic of relationships. For those of you just joining us, we're talking today on a whole slew of topics. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about self-worth. We're talking about money. We're talking about self-sabotage. We're talking about divine masculine, divine feminine. We're talking about upgrading our skill sets and mindsets. We're talking about accountability and transformation. And we're talking about clarity, passion, and purpose. And we're also talking about having the ability to follow through from vision to completion, so that when you actually choose to create something in your life, you truly create it from start to finish. You don't just keep hoping and praying and then wondering why and getting pissed off. Dennis, welcome to the call. Robert, welcome to the call. As I pause, see if you can be comfortable in the pause. See if your mind freaks out. Can you relax and breathe and be present? No rush, nowhere to go, nothing to do. So back to relationships. We meet somebody, and if you were to walk into a room of thousands of people, you would look across that room and you would specifically pick the person, not that's going to help you live happily ever after, that's going to trigger you ever after, right? You're going to look across the room and out of thousands of people, you're going to pick the person who's going to trigger the living crap out of you for as long as you can remember. Can anyone relate with this? Marianne Zitting, welcome to the call. Audrey, no freak out here. I'm awesome at keeping calm. It used to become uncomfortable for me. Awesome. So who can relate with, holy shit, the relationships I attract is the ones that can trigger the shit out of me and expose everything within me that may be a doubt, a fear, an insecurity, a self-worth issue, an unloved place. I specifically picked the person to fill that role for me. Now, there's these waves of relationship. One wave is we fall in love. It's like the honeymoon stage. The second wave is what we call a sleep and dreaming. This is when I start to, the second phase, is essence is obscured. So I fall in love. I see the beauty in this person. In phase one, it's like, oh, look at this amazing person. They're my salvation. They're going to help me feel loved. They're going to make my life so amazing. I'm so excited and happy. Woo! And then step two, we start to see all this shit that bugs the hell out of us about this person. Anyone ever done this before? They do this and they do that and they do this and that. And then we start to think, well, if they would just change, if they would stop doing this, if they would stop doing that. Welcome, Amanda. Welcome, Elena. Everyone be sure to subscribe and like and send me lots of love. Find all the love and like buttons and see what you can do to send a lot of that my way. Lottie says, love when you pause and breathe. Near to watch you tune into your body and breathe. Brandon says, if you like epic sex, give me a hell yeah. Everyone who likes epic sex, give me a hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Amanda, I love you too. Thank you. Audrey, in times in my past before I learned some awesome tools to implement. Yes. Okay. Lisa, welcome to the call. So first wave of relationship. I love you. You're amazing. You're going to save me. You're going to help me feel loved. You make me feel so happy. You're so amazing. Step two. Holy shit. When are you ever going to change? You just piss me off. You're always doing this, and don't you know the toilet paper roll goes over, not under? Gosh, everyone knows that. And all these stupid things bug us, and the truth is the argument is never what the argument is about. We think it's about a certain topic. It's not about that. It's always about something else. Mike, welcome to the call. Thank you for being here. And so phase two in the relationship, we start to project and blame and attack, and we start to not like this person so much. Like we wanted them to save us, they couldn't save us, so now we want to crucify them. And so we do phase two. And then if we stay asleep in phase two, we move into phase three, which is what we call asleep and dreaming. This is where we think it's happening to us. We think we're a victim to it. We don't know what to do about it. It keeps happening over and over again. The patterns keep repeating, and nothing seems to change. And we keep hoping they're going to change, and when they change, then we'll be okay. And they keep thinking that if we would change, they would be okay. And now we've got two victims blaming each other. And no one wants to be a victim, right? If I asked, who's the victim here? No one's like, me, pick me. No one's like, no, I don't want to be that whiny little victim-y whatever, right? I want to be the powerful person who's right, who's awesome. But how many of you have been in an argument? If you've been in an argument, that means you are in a race to prove that you are the victim. Anytime you're in an argument, you're racing to prove who's the victim. In every argument, there are three roles: victim, villain, and hero. And that's the cause. Those three roles are the prime characters in every drama in all of existence through all of eternity. And anytime we're arguing, we're bouncing back and forth from I'm villain to I'm victim to I'm the hero. And it usually starts something like this. I was just going along just fine, being a nice guy, and then she, fill in the blank, I just gave you my victim story, right? I was just fine, trying to be a nice guy. I was just trying to help out, but she spoke to me in the wrong tone. She said the wrong thing. She didn't react fast enough. She didn't read my mind. He, she didn't whatever. And so now they, and now that I'm pointing, I'm on the villain square. I believed that I'm the victim. That's why I'm pointing to prove, and I'm becoming villainous to prove that I'm the victim.
Get him.
So if we continue that pattern, what we do is we stay in this phase called asleep and dreaming, where it's like you're having a bad dream and you can't wake up from the shit. It's like all this negative stuff keeps happening. You keep arguing, you keep repeating the same patterns, you keep going through the same stuff over and over again, and it never seems to stop, and you don't know what to do. Aaron Griffiths, welcome to the call. Glad to have you, brother. Big-ass breakthroughs in your world. So asleep and dreaming, this phase of relationship where we repeat. It's like this damn pattern that's so annoying and frustrating, but we can't seem to break, and it just keeps repeating over and over and over again like an endless loop through infinity. And then there's the next phase. If we move to that phase, it's called awakened dreaming. Now, somewhere in these realms right here is typically where relationships end. It's typically where divorce happens. It's typically where suicide happens. This is typically where ugly shit happens. Because unconsciously, we don't have the skill sets and the mindsets required to consciously create a new reality. And so we feel stuck and hopeless, and then we give up. And we just keep repeating until finally we can't take it anymore and we give up in one form or another. And we turn to antidepressants. We turn to drugs. We turn to alcohol. We turn to sex. We turn to pornography. We turn to suicide. Turn to affairs and all kinds of destructive choices. Sam Nielsen, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us here. And there's 3 stages in relationships in another round from the other phases that we're talking about. One is codependence, another is independence, and the third one is interdependence. And during this phase of where we've gone from essence is awakened, we fall in love, the honeymoon stage, to stage 2, essence is obscured, I start to see all the shit I don't like about you, to stage 3, asleep and dreaming, where all the patterns keep repeating and it's frustrating as hell, but it's a nightmare I can't seem to wake up from, to phase 4, I'm awake and dreaming. This is where I stop claiming my victimhood and I start learning new skill sets and mindsets, new tools, new approaches, and I start deliberately and consciously approaching my relationships in life from a new perspective of I'm not a victim, I'm a creator, and I'm responsible for my life, and it's up to me, if I don't like what I'm experiencing now, to create what I do want to experience and to stop blaming anything or anybody outside myself. And so I take on that responsibility. Now look at the word responsibility. Most people, when they hear responsibility, they think burden. They think heaviness. I want you to think of responsibility as power, empowerment. It means ability to respond. It means instead of repeating the same old shit over and over again, I have the ability to choose what I'm going to create from here. I'm going to stop operating from my default programming and conditioning, and I'm going to start consciously creating how I want it to be. So from this phase, it's an interesting phase because we go from victim to creator, but we're new in the creator realm. We haven't been in the creator realm much. We've had most of our practice and mastery in victimhood, blaming the economy, blaming the opposite sex, blaming our partner, blaming the business, blaming the marketplace, blaming the politicians, blaming the rest of the world, blaming traffic, blaming anybody and everybody and everything outside of us for everything. And so stage one is just to take 100% responsibility for every part of our life, every result, every feeling, every thought, every relationship, every bank account, everything. We start taking responsibility for all of it. And again, the word responsibility means the ability to respond, not to react, not to be sucked into this conditioned response where I'm not a choice, but to actually begin to choose how I respond. Ability, so response dash ability, the ability to respond. Now from this place, we begin to become a conscious creator versus an unconscious creator. Before, we were just unconsciously creating our world based on the unconscious conditioned programming that we had obtained through our childhood years and throughout the ages up until we woke up. It's kind of like in the movie The Matrix. He was just repeating on this loop, living this life, and then they wake him up and they give him this pill and they say, choose this pill, you go back to your normal life. Choose this pill, you wake up. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but it'll be worth it. And in that moment, he chooses to take responsibility for his life. And in the good news, in the beginning, it's kind of like, shit, I have to take responsibility for everything? That feels like so much work. I can't just blame my problems on my religion or my parents or my past or on God or life or the economy. I have to take responsibility for all of it. That don't sound that fun. And then we begin practicing. We take responsibility. We take that pill. Joe, welcome to the call. Mike, thank you for your interactions. It's good to see you guys all interacting with each other. It's good to have you all here. Thank you for meeting me here. Talking currently about relationships, and we're going to go into many more powerful topics as we move along. Feel free to come and go as you please. Please subscribe and like and love and send lots of like buttons my way. And interact and ask questions and comments, and let's have this be the most interactive and engaging and empowering process possible. If we get time, we may even go into some facilitation and coaching towards the end, answer some direct questions and facilitate a few people if it works out. Welcome, Don. Welcome to the call. So think of this phase I'm talking about in relationships where we're awake and dreaming. Now we're aware that we're dreaming. It's kind of like when you have that dream and you're aware that you're dreaming and you can start to shape your dreams. But in the beginning, you're not as good at it as you get to be after you practiced a bit. That's what this phase is like. You're like, I know I'm responsible. I know I'm not a victim. I know no one else is to blame, but hell, I sure want to blame him or her. And sure, that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm accustomed to. So it takes a lot of practice, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment, a lot of upgraded skill sets and mindsets to learn how to communicate in a whole new way. Jacob, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us. I love you, man. I really honor you. You're an amazing father and husband and friend and person. It's an honor that you're willing to join these types of things and listen. Jeremy, holy cow, we're getting the powerhouses here. Love you, brother. Thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom, your brilliance, your heart. Everyone, please be sure to like and comment and love and subscribe as we go along. Send lots of love. So we're talking about relationships. Right now, we're talking about various phases in relationships. And this phase, this next phase, imagine it's like there's this time when we go from life happening to me as the victim to life happening by me as the creator. And in this phase, when I first start this phase, it's a little harder. It's kind of like being the kid that was bullied. who now is going to attend, he's starting to attend martial arts. And if he goes right out from his first martial arts training and tries to defend himself, he's probably still going to get his ass kicked. Kenna, welcome. Thank you for joining us. But if he practices those martial arts for 10,000 hours or for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, the next time at some point when they try to bully him again, without him even trying or having to think about it, he will whoop their ass. And this applies to women too. I've watched plenty of videos where dudes thought they were going to pick some shit with a woman, and the woman taught them something they wouldn't soon forget, right? So when I talk genders, guys, there's no limitation on what I'm saying. I'm just using the closest gender I can. I was going to say grab, but I don't know. That may sound inappropriate. So in this next phase of relationships, it may be cumbersome at first because you're like, my conditioned response wants me to lash out, claim the victimhood, attack and beat the shit out of this person or run away. And my conscious response is to choose love and to communicate consciously in a way that ends all blame, that ends all attack, that ends all arguments, that ends all war, because war starts here. The man is like, no way, a woman wouldn't do that. Of course not. Brandon, this is too inappropriate. I'm leaving. Brandon's our smartass of the whole tribe. He's the official smartass, if you don't know that yet. So in this phase, you get to be very patient with yourself and others, right? Because there's lots of learning to do. You've been conditioned your whole life by Hollywood, by movies, by songs, by your parents, by the entire world on how to interact in a way that doesn't work, how to relate in a way that doesn't work. And 95% of the world is in agreement on these ways of relating that don't actually work. They're like, of course you're justified in feeling defensive and attacked and like you're the victim. You are the victim. I'm so sorry. Here, let me hold you. And they keep you in your victimhood. And you like it. You're like, oh, they understand me and they support me and they love me. It feels good to have someone validate my victimhood. Yeah, but that's the payoff. The bad news is you get to stay stuck in the bullshit. You get to keep repeating the patterns because you're not learning the lessons. The more you keep blaming and attacking and criticizing and placing the responsibility outside of you, the more the patterns repeat and repeat and repeat. And if you don't get the lessons will come back and come back and come back and come back until you either quit or you learn. Audrey, just sitting here sipping on my Young Living essential oils water. Awesome. So in life, we either receive the feedback and make the necessary adjustments and therefore change our results, or we keep blaming, claiming the victim position and repeating. And the problem with that is it gets worse and worse and uglier and uglier. The frustration in the relationship builds up more and more till you want to rip the person's head off. And Mike says that was the old us for years. Yeah. So many of us have been there. I sure have. But when we practice the new and implement and integrate the new skill sets and mindsets, then we get to change the results and create what we really want. You can have the most amazing and beautiful and fulfilling and thriving and happy and connected and loving and passionate relationships ever, beyond your imagination. And the same thing applies with, hey Ryan, welcome to the call, brother. Good to have you. The same thing applies to our finances and every other aspect of our life. There's just certain principles or natural governing laws that govern our results in every aspect of life, and we either align with those principles or we don't. If we align with those principles, we get those. I had a phone call come in. We're back. So if we align with those principles, we get those blessings. If we don't align with those principles, we don't get those blessings. I don't care how many times you go to church. I don't care how many times you say your prayers. I don't care how many old ladies you help across the street. I don't care how nice of a person you are. I don't care how hard you pray. If you have seeds holding in your hand and you don't plant the damn things and water them and cultivate them and give them sunlight and protect them from the elements, no harvest. Christian, welcome to the call. It's an honor, Audrey. It's an honor. Thank you. So you can be the nicest person in the world and you can have all the hopes and prayers in the world, but if you don't align with the principles that predicate those blessings, do not plan on receiving those blessings. And when you don't receive those blessings, please fucking stop blaming God for that. It's all on you. Please stop blaming others and the economy and the world and the politicians and the corporations and everything else. And just start taking responsibility, saying, cool, okay, I'm not having the money that I want. Cool, what principles do I need to know and understand and implement to receive the money that I want? I'm not having the relationships that I want. Okay, what principles, knowledge, skill sets, mindsets, environments do I get to create to have the relationships that I want? Oh, I'm not having the sex life that I want. Okay, how am I out of aligned with the rules and the natural laws that govern epic sex life, and how can I get aligned so that I can have that? Like whatever it is you're wanting to create, it's all been laid out before you and given to you. The opportunity's been placed right in front of you in your lap. It's just if you keep ignoring the laws that will allow you to align with those laws to give you those blessings, you'll keep not having those blessings. But if you will find those laws and align with those laws, you will receive those blessings. Sam responded with value follows value. And he was just telling me a story about how I changed his life because a couple of years ago we had a meeting and I taught him that value follows value, and he decided, screw it, I've spent my whole life chasing money, asking how can I get more money, and he said I shifted my thought process to how can I provide value. And he was telling me how he got a whole brand new car paid off by cash, and he got a house, and he got this other car, and he got all his needs met and then some, and he's so thriving, and it has just totally transformed his life from barely getting by at $15 an hour to completely thriving and having all of his needs met and not even thinking about money anymore because he simply shifted his focus to how much value can I provide in the world. This is available to all of us. Every one of you were designed to thrive in all ways. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, relationally. And if we just align with the principles that predicate those blessings, we get to receive those blessings. Welcome, Genghis. And no, when you don't receive those blessings, no, it has nothing to do with you not being worthy. It has nothing to do with you not being enough. It has nothing to do with you being fundamentally flawed. It has nothing to do with you being stupid. It has nothing to do with others being more privileged than you or more capable than you. Simply not true. It has everything to do with you simply being willing to do some three key things. One, it may even be two. Sometimes I make up the numbers. Get up more times than you fall down. Receive the feedback and learn from everything that happens. That's it. If you learn from everything that happens and you receive the feedback moment to moment to moment, quit waiting for life to give you a divorce. Quit waiting for life to give you a bankruptcy. Quit waiting. See, the lessons come like this. First, it's a little tickle or a whisper. It's like, hey, Christopher, you should pay more attention to your wife. She's hungry for love. I'm busy right now. She can take care of her own damn self. It's like, hey, Christopher, Pay attention to your wife. I'll pay attention to her later once I get more money. I need to make some money. Okay. Pay attention. I don't have time to pay attention. Mack truck. Right? So the lessons will come really light and easy if we listen and if we adjust and receive that feedback and adjust immediately. Boom, life stays in the flow. Lottie says, what was the other one about feedback? So it's like the whisper comes, I receive the feedback, that is the feedback, right? Life gives me feedback. It says, hey, you're too loud, you're too quiet, you're distant, you're disconnected. That can come from anything. It could be, Carly, welcome to the call. It could be my car breaks down, or the cops give me a ticket, or I injure myself, or my wife says, hey, you're not paying enough attention to me, or whatever happens, or my bank account has a tight spot. See you in a bit, Sam. Thank you for the heads up. So all of that's feedback. If your computer breaks or catches a virus, or there's so many things. Everything that happens in life is feedback. And we either receive that feedback or the lesson keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's so painful. You know, Joseph on this call went through a divorce recently. Ivan, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us. So Joseph went through a divorce recently. If I were to talk to Joseph right now and say, hey, dude, were there plenty of signs that you should have changed before? He'd probably be like, oh, shit, dude. I was a stubborn bastard who wouldn't listen, and the feedback came over and over and over, and I didn't receive it until the train wiped my ass out and left me with nothing. I can speak to that because I know exactly what the feeling is, because I've been there, done that. I was a stubborn one. Well, still am. Christy, welcome. Christy Dawahoya. Guys, Christy is an old friend of mine. When I was 5 years old, I moved to an Indian reservation 47 miles north of Vegas. And Christy was a native girl who was my age, who we did the little square dancing together. Do-si-do shit. And there's not a lot of people from that era in my life. I lived there for 5 years from age 5 to 10. And Christy, hi, sweetie. Christy is still my friend. And those were tough times. You know, there's a lot of shit that's gone down between white people and natives. And we have a friendship. Yes, you are. So am I. I just don't have brown skin. So let's see if I can get back on course here. I mean, it's all on course, right? So in relationship, let's see. I know I was on 2 tracks. I was on relationships and I was on something else, and I lost the other track. So maybe I'll come back to it. If anyone can remember, you can type that in. Oh, like stubbornness and lessons and feedback, right? So if we receive the feedback, the thing is if our fear of change is greater than our pain of our current reality, then we will stay where we're at. Thank you, Genghis. Says, I'm light brown, but I'm Cuban. Great video, by the way. Thank you. So when our fear of change is greater than our current pain, we stay where we are. The second our current pain becomes greater than our fear of change, we advance forward. So the reason why I required Mack trucks, back in the day, I always required the damn train or the Mack truck. It was always a bankruptcy or a divorce or a complete disaster before I would ever get the lesson. And I finally got sick of it being so hard, and I asked, how can I make my life easier? Sue Reese Finlay, thank you for joining. Welcome. Everyone, please like and comment and share and subscribe and find all your fancy little buttons to get us as many people here engaging and learning and growing. Let's frickin' change this planet to be a much more loving and safe and happy and prosperous place for all of us. And your likes and comments and shares and subscriptions all matter, so please handle it. So I asked, I'm like, please show me how to make life easier. Holy shit, enough hard stuff already. And he's like, dude, it's not on me. I'm not doing this to you. This is all you. And he's like, if you want, or the voice or whatever is like, if you want it to be easier, lower your fear of change. Right? Because all it takes is my pain being greater than my fear of change. But if my fear of change is clear up here, my pain has to get clear up here for me to create a change. What if my fear of change was clear down here? Holy shit, now I only need this much pain to make a change. Holy shit. I can make life easier and more enjoyable. This wasn't God punishing me for all the stupid shit I did when I was young and throughout my life. This is all me. What? Robert, welcome to the call. So I started to lower my fear of change. I started to release my attachment to being right, to defending, to arguing, to knowing it all, to being a smartass, to just being open and curious and surrendering to not knowing, getting more humble and teachable and open to feedback and learning. Instead of trying to defend myself and protect myself and keep myself safe by controlling my environment, I said, you know what? Consume me. And one of my highest values became not being right, but being curious, being open, being willing, being teachable. Instead of trying to prove how smart I was, I started to see how much more I could learn and how much more open I could be and how much more humble I could be and how much less reactive I could be and how much I could stop taking shit personal. You want to talk about freedom? You want total freedom and liberation? Get to the point where you actually celebrate people talking shit about you. Look forward to people coming to you and saying, you know what your problem is, Christopher? Please tell me. Get to the point where no matter what anyone says to you, you're just like, yeah, you're right. You know, it was just yesterday. I made a post a few days ago about our Getting Wild event. We went out and we did all these native things. We learned how to make fire and we learned these native primal survival skills. Jason Weber, welcome to the call. And we did all these amazing things out there and we built fire with a bow drill and we made snares and we captured water from the atmosphere and we connected with nature and each other. And we sat around the fire and we bonded like community. We had the most amazing experience. And I posted about that on my wall, and someone comes in and says, you're the biggest fucking hypocrite. Do you have a fucking iPhone? Do you have technology? There's child slavery. Blah, blah, blah. For every iPhone, there's a slave that died making that shit for you, you hypocrite. And you know what was awesome? I didn't take it personal, not for a second. Not even literally, not 1 second. I went, you know what I said to the person? I said, thank you so much for your passion. Thank you for wanting goodness for all. Thank you for wanting to end slavery and oppression. Thank you for wanting us to live in harmony with each other and the planet. Thank you for wanting goodness. Guys, let's just stop taking shit personal. And when someone brings their pain to us, instead of making that about us, Let's fucking answer their call for love, because all that person was doing was hurting and hurting and hurting. And the last thing I need to do is to justify and defend to them and add to the pain. Welcome, Allie. Welcome, Robin. When they're lashing out at me, saying I'm a hypocrite and I'm this, that, and the other, what are they doing? They're lashing out, asking for love. They're calling for love. And what did I say earlier? Our purpose here on the planet is to answer the call for love wherever we hear it. Got a phone call again. I'm back. Thank you. So our purpose in life is to answer the call for love wherever we hear it. So when they lash out, when they talk shit, when they call us names, when they point out our flaws, it's like, you know what? You're right. I am a hypocrite. And it's worse than that. It's worse than that. Not only am I a hypocrite, I'm self-righteous. And I'm a know-it-all. And I'm disconnected. And I'm selfish. Kind of like Eminem's song, whatever you say, I am, whatever you say I am. Right? We're all of it. If you spot it, you got it. If you spot it, you got it. That's that whole mirror I was talking about in relationships. We attract the perfect mate that will show us all our shit. We're going to look in the mirror and go, holy shit, there's all the stuff I don't like about me, but I'm going to blame you for it because I think I'm making it up that it's about you, when really you're just showing me what I don't love about me, so that I can love myself, so that I can love you. Just like I've been taught by every prophet and sage and spiritual leader throughout all of history, to love my neighbor as myself and to treat others as I'd like to be treated. But I haven't been willing to love myself, so I've been trying to make you love me. And I've been holding you responsible for filling the void within me that I've been unwilling to fill myself. And then I attack and blame you for not filling that void that I'm unwilling to fill for myself. And somehow I expect that if I punish you and attack you and blame you and criticize you and condemn you and project on you, that somehow that's going to make you want to be closer to me. And somehow that's going to get me the closeness and connection that I've been longing for. But somehow it never works. Are you guys live? Are you guys still receiving me? I'm seeing some messages where you're saying you're not getting me anymore. I'm seeing your comments. Are you go ahead and type in your comment? Let me see if you can see and hear me. Ryan Rigby is on Zoom. Thank you. Give this video CPR. You guys receiving me on the live video, on the Facebook Live? I know we're good on Zoom. Brandon, are you receiving me? Can you guys hear me on live? Thank you for your patience, guys. Bear with me for a moment while this technology catches up with us. Hey guys, welcome. So we got the live going again. We've got 3 viewers back on. We were up to about 60 something. Who do we have back on with us? Got 8 of you on. Who do we have? Brandon Marshall Havener, welcome. Audrey, welcome. Don, welcome. Christy, welcome. Everyone be sure to like and comment and subscribe. Christy, welcome back. Carol, welcome back. So just give a few more minutes here for everyone to hop back on. We'll start out where we left off. Audrey, I desired to hear the explosion. Laugh out loud. I love when you do that towards the end. Laugh out loud. Michael, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. All right, so let's get this ball rolling again. So we can make life easier and more enjoyable by lowering our fear of change and embracing change, becoming as open to feedback and learning as possible. Welcome back, Aaron. Welcome, Emily. Welcome back, Lisa. Welcome, Kim. So the more we can lower our fear of change and totally embrace change, totally embrace newness, totally live like a child from a space of openness to learning, curiosity, wonder, dropping the I know that, dropping the know-it-all and the self-righteousness and defensiveness and all the shit, and just getting into curiosity and wonder and just exploring life with this childlike curiosity. Open to receive back everywhere, from everything, at all times, taking nothing personally, answering the call for love wherever we hear it, constantly learning and expanding and growing with new skill sets and mindsets, and constantly upgrading our environments to surround ourselves with more and more positive, skillful, caring, heart-centered, prosperous people. That environment piece is critical, because if you take, in any of the rounds, if you take the 5 average people that you hang out with and look at their relationships, that's the average of your relationship. Welcome, Robert. Hello. If you take the 5 average people that you most hang out with and average out their spirituality, that's your average spirituality. And you can apply this down the line with your fulfillment and your finances and your family life, your connection with your Creator, all the way down the line. Your health, if you average out those main people you hang out with, you're hanging out in the conversation and the environment that creates those results. So constantly upgrading your environment, your skill sets, your mindsets, your abilities. And perfect practice makes perfect. Not practice makes perfect. If you practice something shitty, you're going to be shitty, even more shitty at it, and locked in to doing it shitty. If you practice perfectly, you're going to get perfect results. So let's go back to those waves of relationship. Assuming we've decided to make life easy, we've decided to not make it so hard, we've decided to stop fearing change, we've decided to become open to learning and feedback, and so we've become very humble and teachable. And life can stop being so hard, and we receive the lessons when they're small and easy. And we begin practicing perfectly, and we take life on as a creator rather than a victim, and we go to that dojo and that training center back and back and back and back, mastering communication, mastering consciousness, mastering being a creator, mastering providing value, mastering the principles, and we observe the principles in nature. They're all observable, and we practice those principles until they become second nature, and our life begins to bless us in every way possible. And we begin to be surprised day in and day out of how good it can be. What a beautiful blessing to wake up every day and be surprised at how good it can be. So now, from this place, as we learn the skill sets, we learn the mindsets, we learn new ways of viewing relationships, we learn new ways of communicating and relating, we learn new ways to love ourselves. We learn new ways to receive feedback and criticism, and to shift our energy and our mindsets, and to stay in an empowered state. And we learn all these things and we apply them, and pretty soon we become black belts. And pretty soon, when the shit that used to completely derail us comes to us, we just look at it and we smile. And we embrace it and welcome it. And it's no longer hard because our capacity has expanded beyond measure. Helena, welcome to the call. And so now we move into the next wave of relationship, which is essence becomes permanent. Remember in stage 1, essence was awakened? It was that honeymoon stage that we all talk about. People look at my wife and I, They're like, oh, you guys are so cute, people that don't know us. You guys are so cute, newlyweds, huh? We're like, yeah, 10 years ago. Honeymoon stage isn't just, it's not, there's all these beliefs like, yeah, in the beginning there's lots of sex and then it dies off. Yeah, in the beginning it's so wonderful, but then it's not the same, they change. Yeah, in the beginning you're in love, but it'll end. Get ready for the long haul. Yeah, if you choose to stay unconscious. If you choose to not upgrade your skill sets, your mindsets, and your environment, if you choose not to consciously shape your world, yeah, get ready for the long haul and hope that you can weather it. Or else keep going and repeating, end one relationship, think you found the one again, and then not, and then think you found the one again, and then not. Because the one was here the whole time. The one was here the whole time. The one you've been looking for, it's right here. And when you're in love with this one, it's easy to attract that one out there that you want to be in love with. Those of you that are single out there that want to attract your ideal mate, fall in love with this and watch how that automatically happens. And those of you that are already in a relationship, but waiting for that person to save you, fall in love with you and watch how what they do no longer has that much of an effect on you other than to enhance and improve your life. So in that next phase of relationship, we go back to the essence or that honeymoon, but it becomes normal. It becomes your lifestyle, and it becomes permanent. It's something you can have for the rest of your life. And now, if we've practiced enough consciousness skills, that we now take full responsibility for our life. We've learned to communicate differently. We've learned to view the world differently and view our bodies differently and view ourselves differently and view money differently and view people differently and view the planet differently and view everything in a way that is conducive to the principles that predicate the blessings that we desire. Then life begins to bless us more and more and more, and we begin to consume less and less energy on drama and arguing and victimhood and defense and all the other bullshit. And that means that if I used to spend 50% of my energy, now if I look back in the past, I probably spent 90% of my energy on stupid shit. Eden, welcome. And the more I've aligned with correct principle and the knowledge, the skill sets, the mindsets, the environments, the more of my energy has shifted from being spent on argument and lack and scarcity and insecurity and doubt and fear and guilt and shame and inadequacy and all the other things. And the more that energy has been focused towards my passion, my purpose, my mission, my contribution, my service. And now that my energy is freed up from the drama, the more I free up the energy from the drama and the chaos and the destruction and the unconsciousness, the more I can consciously channel that energy towards what I most want. The more money I make, the more epic sex that I have, the more connection and love that I enjoy, the more pleasure that I get to have, the more deliberate conscious creation that I get to have, the more amazing my life becomes. I get to take all the energy that was being scattered. It's like a river. If it had no riverbanks, it would just spread out and it would have no power. But if we bring it in with the riverbanks, and now it's channeled with focus and power, it's a force to be reckoned with. It'll carve the Grand Canyon for you. Tiffany, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Michael, welcome. Teshiaya, welcome. So we begin to, now that we've freed up all that energy, because we've been practicing in the dojo, we've been mastering how we channel our energy, how we react to life, how we're a creator versus a victim, And we've learned how to shift. We've learned how to communicate. We've learned how to deal with things so that the amount of drama that comes at me today is the same as what it ever was, but it just don't affect me the way it used to. Daniel, welcome. Everyone be sure to like and comment and subscribe and find all your fancy buttons. Click on them as much as you can. And so I free up all that energy and I channel it towards my passion, my purpose, my life's mission and purpose to be the most amazing father and husband and friend and coach and consultant and guide and contributor to people and planet. And as I do that, my relationships of all forms thrive more and more and more because I simply provide more value than I take from each one of you. I provide more value than I take from my wife. I make more deposits than withdrawals in my bank account. I make more deposits than withdrawals to my wife. I make more deposits than withdrawals for my children. I make more deposits than withdrawals from my friends and my family and from my clients and from my associates and from everything and everybody in the world. I give more to the world than I take from it. If I take a tree, I plant two. And when my focus is on how can I give more, not sacrificing me, always taking care of me. In fact, taking care of me first, so that when my cup runneth over, I have plenty to give, with a fountain that never runs out. But as I live life from how can I provide more value and what currency, Sam was mentioning earlier, what currency is wanting to be exchanged here? Is it love? Is it attention? Is it presence? Is it money? Is it freedom? Is it truth? What currency is being exchanged here, and how can I provide more than I take in this exchange? Matt Johnson, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us. Mike, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. So when my focus becomes on providing more value than I take in every aspect of my life, every aspect of my life begins to thrive beyond measure. Being successful, having money is like one piece of what it means to truly be successful. Truly thriving and prosperous and successful means my relationships are frickin' beyond epic. That I truly love my life and that I joyfully make more than enough money to live a life of complete choice and freedom. Levi, my brother, welcome, you badass man. My man crush for Levi distracted me for the last 30 seconds. Levi and I just did this Getting Wild event, and I have never co-created with a man from such a powerful place of non-ego, of heart, of essence, of power. The most beautiful co-creation ever. I've created with a lot of powerful men, a lot of amazing things, and we've blessed a lot of lives, but never have I met with a man with as much heart and power and solidness and strength and lack of ego. It was so freaking beautiful. He says, I have that effect. Yes, you do. And there's so many men out there want to be macho fucking men, puffing their chest, acting like big fucking macho men. And they like to think of heart-centered men as pussies. And I'm telling you, a man who knows how to be as tough and enduring as an Iron Man, and who can do all the hard shit, and do all the shit that the toughest warriors can do, yet open their hearts fully and love fully at the same time, that's a man who will have epic relationships. That's a man who will have epic connections. That's a man that can do anything and everything a warrior can do, but even longer, because instead of ignoring their body and their heart and their mind, they actually have a relationship with themselves that allows them to be connected even with themselves through the midst of the fucking intensity that allows them to honor themselves in the midst of that, which enables them to be connected to source, not relying on their own strength, connected to all that is, being inspired and connected and powerful and strong. Does this body and mind have the capacity of any warrior out there? You bet your fucking ass. And does this heart have the ability to love bigger than most of them know how to, myself and others? Yes. Not that they're not capable, not that they're not deserving, just that they haven't been willing to go there yet. Matt, welcome. Men, there's an event coming up. I didn't know I was going to run this advertisement, quick advertisement. We interrupt this broadcast for a quick commercial break. There's this fucking epic event that I was inspired on recently called The Initiation. I love you, brother. It's called The Initiation, and here's the deal. Back in tribal cultures, boys were initiated into manhood in very intense ways. And in today's society, not so much. Most of us didn't have fathers around. Most of us played video games. Most of us didn't have to work for shit. And most of us haven't even accessed a fraction of the power that's available to us. And I was inspired within the last couple of months to create an event called The Initiation, which is a men's only event, 10 dudes at a time only, once a year. 10 dudes, once a year. Period. And if you like the movie Survivor, it'll be like the movie Survivor. If you like the idea of being able to follow through and commit and create what you put your mind to, like an Iron Man, you will gain that. If you like the adventure of Survivor, if you would like to fully access your heart. So some of the intense shit I've done, I fasted for 65 days once. You think I gained some mental toughness? You bet your ass. I did an Ironman, mental toughness. I did multiple 10-day silent meditation retreats, mental and emotional toughness and presence. I'm reaching a state of like, I want to say unstoppable. I don't want to hear it be arrogant, and I don't want to invite life to see if I am stoppable. But there's some access to some power that's available if we will go through these initiations that are available to us as men. So picture Survivor meets Navy SEAL training, meets Ironman, meets meditation, meets faster, meets I did this rebirthing breath work that brought me deep into my heart. And two of the processes, one was they put me in a pool of water that was ice cold and had me breathe through it with a snorkel fully submerged for 2 hours until I generated heat within my own body and realized on a soul level, I'm not my body, I'm not my mind. My breath can liberate me from the limitations of my body and mind. Christopher, welcome. Aaron, welcome back. Martin, welcome, even though you're at work. He's like, we're watching it during work, laugh out loud, extra productive. See, men can multitask. So basically, guys, I've realized the importance of initiating men in a very powerful way that also has love and heart and connection and depth. And I've been inspired on formulating the most intense, initiating, empowering men's experience on the planet. Not for weaklings, not for those who aren't incredibly committed and dedicated and empowered. When you leave there, you will have the most power you've ever had in your life. You will know who you are, and you will have broken through the keys of knowing you are not your brain, and you are not your body, and you are not your limitations, and you can create any damn thing you put your mind to. So enough of the commercial. Guys, hit me up. Even if you don't know if you're ready yet, hit me up and let's start to figure out if it's going to happen this year or next year. I'm not going to make it a fight or a struggle. When 10 dudes say I'm ready, we're going to do it. And if you don't, then sorry, you get to miss out and not have that blessing. But I'm ready when you are. I'm ready when you are. So we now return to our regularly scheduled program. Thank you for allowing me to take a moment to share that. It's something I'm very excited about. Amber, welcome. So when we reach that stage of we've reached self-mastery enough, we've started to take on life as life happening by me instead of life happening to me. We've given up the addiction to the victim, and we've chosen consciously to be the creator of our own life, our own results, our own reality, our own experience. And we stop blaming our spouses, our religious leaders, our politicians, the world, the economy, God, life, everything. And we've taken full responsibility, and we've invested in ourselves. The number one investment you will ever make is in this 6 inches of real estate right here, to understand relationships, to understand human psychology and human performance, and to dedicate yourself and learn how to master the art of committing and following through. Learning how to access that power within and live from that power. To own your voice, to gain confidence, true confidence, not the false confidence of, look, my bank account's fat and my partner's sexy and I'm a badass and people like me. But that true confidence that stands true, not on a sandy foundation that can be ripped out from under you, because true confidence cannot be ripped out from under you. The false confidence that most of us live in is some bullshit like, look how sexy I am, look how smart I am, look how many people like me, look how popular I am, look how fat my bank account is, look how sexy my spouse is, look how big my house is, look how shiny my car is. Dexter fucking Abraham, welcome to the call, motherfucker. This is a powerful man, known as a cartoon. Welcome. So true fucking confidence isn't when I can sit on the sand basing my confidence on all this shit outside of me. True confidence is only within me. It comes when, if all of you hated me and said all the mean things in the fucking world about me, and I stood here and said, I hear you, doesn't offend me, thank you. And if my bank account went dry and my wife left me, and my wife was having an affair with my best friend, and my kids died, and I went broke, and the whole world wanted to crucify me, and I had none of the shit outside of me that I've been basing my fake fucking confidence on. You know, a lot of these guys are like, well, I got money, I'm really good at business, fuck you. And I'm like, that's cool, you got one piece of the puzzle, whoop-de-fuck. Right? True confidence is, take away every fucking thing and have the whole world hate me, and I still know who I am. I still love me. That can't be taken away from me. Everything else can. Your kids will die sometime. I don't know if they'll die before you or not. Sometime your kids will die. Sometime your lover will die or leave. Sometime your car will get wrecked or go to the junkyard. Sometime your house will burn down or be taken over by termites. All that shit outside of you, if you think your happiness is based on that, you've built on a sandy foundation. And you better find a solid foundation of self-love right here that can't be shaken, that is true self-confidence built on a rock. That no matter what anybody or anything that happens outside of you, you are golden. That's liberation and freedom that can never be taken away. And that's a work that most people are too fucking scared to do and avoid like the plague. And they seek every other way in the book to try to fill that void because they're unwilling to face into that dark, ugly shit and fill that void for themselves. And then we try to make everyone else fill it for us. We try to make money fill it for us, material possessions to fill it for us, sex to fulfill it for us. We try to create relationships to fulfill it for us. And then when those don't happen, we turn around and crucify them. So as we practice consciousness skills and we take full responsibility for every aspect of our life and we gain the courage to look within and to do that inner work, if you don't go within, you go without. If you don't go within, you go without. Shit happens until shift happens. Shit happens until shift happens. When we learn to shift, when we learn to alter our state, when we learn to be in flow with our state and be at choice about our state of mind. Einstein said, no problem can be solved in the state in which it was created. Love you, Sam. Enjoy your family. No problem can be solved from the same state in which it was created. We must take responsibility for choosing our state of mind, or choosing our state of being. Chris, welcome to the call. And as we learn to master these skills of choosing our state of being, of learning how to shift out of our shit, of stopping to believe our default patterns and mechanisms. And there's a saying says, the truth shall set you free. That's a limited statement. What's more true is know the truth of who you are. That is the truth that will set you free. Know the deepest truth of who you truly are at the fucking core, at the root, at the essence, at the very core of who you are. That is the truth that will set you free. Yes, I pause. Yes, I breathe. Invite you to do the same. So when we build on that rock, that foundation within, that unshakable foundation, when we truly know the full truth of who we are and we live from that place, nothing could be more fulfilling. Nothing could be more solid. Nothing could make us more wealth. It's the gift that keeps giving. And the more we implement and practice and master those ways of being, the more we free up our energy from the drama and the chaos and the self-destruction, and we can channel that energy towards our deepest fulfillment and joy and thriving and prospering in every way. If I started with 30% of my energy towards my passion and purpose, Chris Adkins, welcome. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome to the call. If I used to have 30% of my energy towards my passion and purpose and 70% towards bullshit, and I've practiced perfectly to master myself and my life, my mind, my body, my passion, and I've aligned for the optimal version of me in my life, and I've turned those tables to where 70% of my energy is focused on my passion, my purpose, my mission, and 30% is towards drama and bullshit. What a massive transformation. And if I can get those numbers in the 90% range, 90, 95% passion, purpose, fulfillment, joy, true alignment, full expression, not just ego bullshit, not just surface level bullshit, and only 5% of my life consumed with drama, self-doubt, fear, shame, guilt, smallness, faking, pretending, wearing masks, playing the fucking games that we play as egos in bodies. Holy fuck, the difference in my life from that original dude to the dude who's being himself fully. So the final wave of relationship is one where we go into co-creation, where we're no longer wasting our energy on arguing, defending, justifying, ego, insecurity, doubt, fear, unworthiness, repeating the patterns. We're no longer asleep and dreaming. We're now completely awake. We love the dream that we're in. We're choosing the dream that we're in. We're shaping the dream as we go. And we've got all this freed up energy, and all of it is channeled towards our passion, our purpose, our fulfillment, our joy, our love. And we have plenty of epic sex, the deepest connection we've ever had. Did you guys know that addiction is simply a lack of connection? Anyone who's addicted to porn, to sex, to drugs, to alcohol, to food, to loneliness, to depression, all of those are addictions. And the root of all of those is simply a lack of connection. And the lack of connection is just a lack of connection with self. We've been taught and trained to be, we're so fucking disconnected from ourselves. And it started because we got lost in our heads. It started because we were taught how to not feel. It started because the pain of being on this planet was so painful that we learned how to block out the feelings so that it wouldn't be so painful. And then we become addicted to all kinds of outside things that never can liberate us. And that final stage of relationship is one where we don't waste energy arguing anymore. We just love each other. We hold each other. We shine. We thrive. We hold each other in the greatest version of ourselves. And we co-create. We just say, what do we want to create now? Do we want to create babies? Or just sex? Or do we want to go serve others? Do we want to travel? Like it's just a choice. We all have creative life force energy flowing through us. You know, there's only 5 core feelings: anger, sadness, fear, sexual, and joy. None of those are bad. All of them are of service. The anger is good for us. It helps us make change. The sadness helps us learn. The fear keeps us safe. The joy helps it to be enjoyable and worth the journey. The sexual energy is just creative energy. How do we want to use it? Do you want to launch a business? Do you want to sing a song, dance a dance? Do you want to be a coach? Do you want to launch a product or service? Do you want to create a marketing campaign? Do you want to create a relationship? What are you going to create with your creative energy? Brandon says, just sex. Just sex. It's all a choice, and it's all up to you. You can create it how you want it to be. You get to have your heaven on earth if you'll choose it, if you'll allow it, if you'll get past your shit, if you quit fucking around. Let me pull up the other topics we're talking about. So I know we talked about masculinity, we talked about femininity, we talked about relationships, we talked about passion and purpose. Men who are bold, strong warriors, if you don't embrace your femininity, don't be surprised if you don't feel deeply connected. Women who have stepped too far into your masculine energy, don't be surprised if your sex life goes to hell and you lose traction to men. Women who go into your masculinity too much, don't be surprised if your life seems hard and burdensome and overwhelming and scattered and cluttered. And it's okay. I understand why you did that, women. You had a bunch of pansy men who couldn't handle your feelings, didn't provide well, hadn't been initiated properly, couldn't handle the intensity of your whirlwind emotions. And so they shut down, and then you didn't trust them, and you didn't trust that you'd be provided for. And so you stepped into your own masculinity to overcompensate. I understand. It's okay. Makes sense. I get why you did it. You're amazing. And they don't have to be that way. You can be you. You can relax. You can receive. You can thrive. You can shine. You can be all of you. Men, get sensitive and tough. You're not tough enough or sensitive enough in general. 95% of you on this call are not tough enough or sensitive enough. We need to go to both those extremes. We need to get you tough as fuck, and we need to get you sensitive as can be. Completely attuned, aware, kind, gentle. Fully in touch with all of your feelings. So that in one moment you could be the strongest Iron Man in the world. In the next moment you could cuddle and cry and allow her to do whatever the hell she's going to do. And when she's a whirlwind, and I'm talking men, women, we might have gays on the call. I love everybody. Everyone can love everybody how we choose to love everybody. If I say man, women, I'm talking masculine, feminine, and that could be in a man or a woman. I know many women who are were born masculine and men who are born feminine. No disrespect to any of you. But understand the polarity of masculine and feminine and learn to embrace the qualities of both. Men, if you're not accessing your feminine, You have to work your ass off all the time. You injure yourself a lot. You get yourself sick. You're disconnected. You don't feel enough. You feel disconnected. You feel all alone. You have lots of voids and vices. And life is hard. So the masculine is either one without the other. Like a man and a woman, no babies if man and woman don't meet in sex, right? Well, that's one form of creation. If we don't bring the masculine and the feminine together within us, our creation is incredibly limited. And if we don't learn to dance with both and when to be in each, our sex lives go to hell, our financial lives go to hell, all of it is out of balance. It's very important to be able to have access to both and know when to use both and how to switch in and out of both at will. Okay, let me just check in for a moment and see if there's anything that hasn't been said that wants to be said that will bless you guys further. Passion and purpose, direction. You know, those of you who know your passion and purpose, stop fucking resisting marketing and sales. Stop judging marketing and sales. Stop judging money. We don't need more broke artists, starving artists out there. We could use some more money. Like the greatest vote we have in the world is our money and where we spend our dollars. That shapes the world more than anything else we do. You buy stupid shit, you create a stupid world. You buy cool shit, create a cool world. The best thing we can do is put more money into the hands of people who have a heart, who actually give a shit and make a positive contribution. Don't just sell trinkets and shiny shit. But most of the healers who give a shit are too big of pussies and too scared to own their voice and don't know how to market, don't know how to sell, haven't claimed their authority, don't have the self-confidence required, too fucking scared about what everyone thinks about them and says about them. So they sit quietly. And one day on their deathbed, they'll be like, if there's a God in the sky, God will come to them and be like, hey, dude, I gave you mission purpose. How come you didn't fulfill it? And you're like, I was afraid of what people would say. Really? Too scared of what people would think or say. Wow. You know, you don't really hate money. Those of you on the call who think you hate money, you don't hate money. You're just fucking pissed off because you don't know how to earn it. And you're resentful because you've strived hard to create money and you've sacrificed your life for it and you've given up and now you're judging and condemning it because you're frustrated. You're like, fuck the money game. I don't want to play anymore. You don't have a problem with money. You have a problem with your inability to create it. You're just like, it's like we're playing a board game and you're grabbing it in the middle of the game and you're throwing the whole fucking thing and all the pieces are flying at everybody. You're like, I'm not playing anymore. That's all you're doing. So take responsibility for your shit and start studying the principles of prosperity and applying them and seeing what value. Let me tell you money real fast. Money is this simple. I look around the world. I see what problems I see. I told you earlier, your purpose was answer the call for love wherever you see it. Right? So I have you look around, you say, where do I see a call for love? I see broke people who have a message who want to make money. Here, let me answer their call for love and help them make money so they can make the contribution they came to make. Let me help them. They need to value themselves and have true self-confidence and self-worth so that they can claim their voice. Let me help them do that. So all we do when we want money is solve people's problems. What is so fucking evil about solving people's problems? I'll tell you what's evil, if there is evil, which I don't actually think there is, but if I were to judge like two things from the third dimension and be like, judge someone who discovers how to solve people's problems and goes and solves them and receives lots of money for it, or judge someone who's meant to solve problems but is too big of a wimp to do it So they sit hiding in their corner, not sharing their message or their gifts. Meanwhile, they have the cure for cancer, but everyone's dying of cancer because they're too scared to claim they have the cure for cancer. You tell me which one of those is the greater sin. I made a video once. I said, possibly the most virtuous thing we could do is sales. Because sales is simply me looking at you and saying, oh, you need confidence to be able to share your passion and purpose and live what you came to do here? Let me give you confidence. Let me show you how I got confidence when I didn't have it. Let me show you the way. I overcame that. I've climbed this mountain. Let me show you how. I'll walk with you. Jacob, welcome. Tanya, welcome. Everyone, please make sure you're liking and loving and commenting and subscribing and sharing, and find all your fancy little buttons and see how much you can promote this shit. No, you're not afraid of sales. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid that you're not enough. You're afraid that you're fundamentally flawed. You're afraid that if you offer your solution, they'll laugh at you. They'll call you names. They won't like you. And then you'll discover it's true that you are fundamentally flawed, that you're not enough. And then you should just give up, maybe even kill yourself. You're just scared of that shit. You're just scared of dying. You're scared that you'll give up, that you'll fail so many times that you give up. Love you, Tiffany. Thank you. Welcome, Blake. You are welcome. So if you need to know your passion and purpose, let's discover it. There's a process. We can guide you through it. If you want to feel fulfilled in a true way that's lasting, we can do that. You want to truly love yourself and have unshakable confidence, that's available to you. You want to upgrade your mindsets, your skill sets, and your environment, we've got that too. With a real Slim Shady, please stand up. If everyone were doing what they loved, we would have world peace. If we taught every 8-year-old in the world how to meditate, we would have world peace in 1 generation. How about we get everyone doing what they love and fulfilling their purpose and communicating and relating in a way that we end all drama, and we relate from a space of love, we connect with Source daily, we live a life of inspiration. Jesse Eller said, taking uninspired action is like having sex with your clothes on. How about we create a life where we can be inspired constantly? How about running a business from inspiration instead of perspiration? I mean, who wants to have sex with their clothes on? I don't. I want the full-on yumminess, skin to skin, baby. So we discover our passion and purpose. We figure out how to market it. We figure out how to package and price it. We figure out how to gain our self-confidence and voice it. We figure out how to voice that in a way that our tribe can hear it and come purchase our products and services. We do what we love, and so instead of coming home and bitching about how hard our day was, we come home and brag about how amazing it was. We communicate in a way that ends all arguments, all war, because war don't start in the battlefield from politicians. It starts in your head. It starts in your head. You are the cause of war. I am the cause of war, not them. We looked all over for them. You know, we sent these guys out, these scouts, to find them, and what they found, they came back, they said, hey, we found them. And they is us. They is us. We're the motherfuckers creating the problems, not them. There's no one out there. It's all us. So what do you say we help everyone love themselves? What do you say we help everyone identify their passion and purpose? What do you say we help everyone gain the tenacity and follow through to actually fulfill their dreams and to bring about and manifest what they desire most? What do you say we help everyone live in impeccable integrity so their success can be sustainable? What do you say we help people eliminate self-sabotage by destroying the limiting beliefs, stories, and conditioned patterns within them and replacing all of that with love and goodness? What do you say we stop fucking around? What do you say about, let's see how much joy and love we can bring to ourselves and each other, and how good we can stand it, and how good we can make this life for ourselves and everyone in it? What do you say we go beyond the surface level bullshit? What do you say we see how far into love and integrity and consciousness and power we can extend? What do you say we master our minds and bodies so we can drive the fucking ship of our life instead of being driven by the random shit that surfaces within us? How many times have your mind told you you can't go any further? It's too scary. It's too hard. I'm too sore. I'm too tired. How many times has your mind held you into smallness? For how long? How many bullshit excuses and stories have you repeated in your mind for year upon year? So the reason why I do what I do is because I used to just trade my life for money. I used to seek everything I've talked about. I'm not talking about just cool quotes, right? Your greatest mess becomes your greatest message. So I've been the stupidest dude in the world on all this shit. I've chased money. I've been addicted to all the things I've mentioned. I've done all the stupidest things I've mentioned, and I've done all the coolest things I've mentioned. So I believe this thing called your greatest mess becomes your greatest message. So, we talk about passion, purpose. Here's some key signs for you. Greatest mess becomes your greatest message. Or you came to learn what you came to teach. So what have your greatest messes been? For me, scarcity. I was born into a very impoverished family. And I thought exactly, bass-ackwards is the saying we used to say, bass-ackwards when it came to money and prosperity. I was bass-ackwards when it came to relationships. I was bass-ackwards when it came to confidence. My approach to life was just be tough, act like there's no problems, plow through, endure to the end, be tougher than everyone else, try harder, work longer, struggle through, be tougher. That was a hard game. Elizabeth, welcome. Audrey, welcome back. That's why I formed The Purge. I was like, okay, I went through hell and back a few times, trying to just be positive and put my head down and plow through. And then I realized, hey, I can make this easy if I just let go of all this shit I'm carrying from the past and replace it with self-love. Life can be easy and enjoyable. Well, fuck, if I discovered that, why don't I turn around and share it with others? And hello, the purge was born. If you don't believe it's true, reach out to anybody who was there. The initiation, I used to suck at follow through. I had all kinds of visions and dreams and goals, but I couldn't follow through with anything. I did not have the mental toughness to follow through. I could vision well, but I couldn't create for shit because I kept waiting, hoping, praying, wanting. And then I took on CrossFit, and then Spartan races, and then Ironman. And I committed to small things which became bigger things and bigger things and bigger things until now I know damn good and well when I commit to something, that shit's going to happen. Audrey, welcome. It's an honor to have you here. So aligning with your passion and purpose, learning new skill sets and mindsets so that you can flow through life with ease and grace. Adding some accountability so that you can quit playing games with yourself, getting some breakthrough so that you can move forward faster, easier, more enjoyably. Upgrading your skill sets and mindsets so you can approach it from a whole new angle, because doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, is insanity. Freeing up all the drama, the energy that's been consumed in drama, and channeling it towards your purpose and your passion so you get that fulfillment and success. Aligning with the correct principles that predicate the blessings you desire so you can thrive. Gaining the confidence desired so that you can fully shine and express so that your tribe will be attracted to you and pay you to solve their problems. So that you can expand even further and bless even more people. Hannah, welcome. Guys, my life sucked bad. I tried to drink myself to death and then I put a gun in my throat. Yeah, Audrey says, hey, Christopher, nothing like commitment, recommitment, action steps, get the results, learn, recommit, celebrate, rinse, and repeat. Gotta run, see a client, and do my passion. Oh, yeah, live in it, sister. I love you. Julie Kennedy, welcome. Guys, I had a shitty life. My childhood was shitty. My early 20s were shitty. Teenage years were rough. And every day I wake up right now surprised at how good it can be. And I'm here to help as many people as will allow me to help them to create the life that you love. If you know that you get to discover your passion and purpose, reach out. If you know that you get to know how to package and price that, reach out. If you know you get to learn how to claim your voice and share it, reach out. If you know that you get to learn how to write copy and market and sell, reach out. Stop waiting. Stop sitting on the fence. Stop waiting. Stop pretending that you're small. Stop trying to go it alone. Would you try to climb Mount Everest without a guide and a Sherpa? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. There's too much data. Says people who try to climb Mount Everest without studying and learning and preparing properly die. First try. Let's get you the confidence you've been waiting for. Don't fuck the slow route, guys. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's play. Let's dance. Let's thrive fully. Let's find a way. Let's create it. Let's stop waiting. Let's stop pretending that we're small. Let's stop pretending that we're insignificant. Let's stop pretending that we're not enough. Let's stop pretending that failure is scary. Let's stop pretending that failing means you're not enough. Who's willing to stop pretending this? Type yes, I'm willing, I'm ready. Who's willing to have more? Who's willing to have it all? Truly have it all. If you're a coach or a business owner, I have an online program. Let me help you fucking launch and thrive. I've been working on this for 10 years. I've brought all the pieces together. I have the best program in the business. I've launched the highest level coaches out there that are creating the most success. I'm responsible for launching most of those coaches. If you're ready to launch a successful business that you are launching already or that you have had for a while, I've got the best program in the market for that that'll address the inner game and the outer game, not one or the other. Most programs out there will give you the strategies and that's it. And they're like, oh, you're not completing? Sorry, sucks. That's kind of how the numbers work. Most people don't. I'm like, no, that don't work for me. If you're not completing it, it's because there's something inside of you stopping you from completing it. Let's clean that shit up so you will complete it, because strategies will not fucking deliver you. A strategy combined with the principle, combined with self-love, combined with all the puzzle pieces required, yes, that'll get you there. Leona said not working again. Is it working, just not working for her or not working for everybody? Those with me on Zoom, hang tight. It's good to see your beautiful shining faces. Thank you. Brandon says works for me. Awesome. Jonathan says I'm here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. Thank you, guys. So, guys, let's fucking launch your business. Let's make the difference and contribution you're here to make. Let's get you thriving and stop struggling. Those of you who want confidence, let's get you to have a supai. Let's get you to have a supai. Let's backpack in 10 miles to the Grand Canyon, turn off all our technology, and see how many ways we can expand our comfort zone to become truly confident outside of our comfort zone, because true confidence doesn't happen inside your comfort zone. True confidence is I can be anywhere, anytime, anyhow, in any environment, way the hell outside my comfort zone. And I have ventured out there so many times that my comfort zone has become everywhere, always. Who wants that kind of confidence? Meet me and have a supai. Let's fucking backpack 10 miles and throw our technology away for a week. And let's see how much confidence we can instill in you to your core. Not in your head, not some ideas, not some concepts. An experiential transformation that'll never leave you for the rest of your existence. Reach out. Stop waiting. Life's hard until you do this shit. It may be scary. So to tell you what's more scary, staying stuck in the bullshit. That's way more scary. I'll see you there, Emily. Men, ready to own your full power? See me at the initiation. Let me see if you have it. Let me see if you have what it takes. I want you to. We need more solid men. Women, meet Megan at the Goddess Experience. Embrace your feminine, you're that divine feminine, so that you can easily attract to you everything that you want without even trying, just being like that goddess sensual yumminess. Men and women, meet me at the purge. Let's clear out all those limiting beliefs and stories and that pain and that trauma and that guilt and that shame and that inadequacy and that unworthiness. Let's clear that shit out in 4 fucking days. Let's clear it out so you can have a clean slate, like an Etch-a-Sketch. Fresh start, filled with love, knowing who you are, ready to love yourself and shine your light. Meet me there. Meet me there. Meet me there. You too. Welcome back, Blake. Welcome back. I'm ready to give you 110%. I've given you so much free shit. I've given you the Legion. I've given you podcast after podcast and video and series and summits and live Facebooks and free trainings. Let's go. Let's go all the way. Let's give it all to you. Let's create your ideal life. Head to toe, top to bottom, start to finish. Welcome, Blake. Welcome, welcome. Daniel says, I thought the purge was 3 weeks, not 4 days. It's timeless. In one sense, you're like, holy shit, it's already over. No, I don't want to go back home. And the other sense is like, holy shit, it seems like a lifetime since that thing started. You guys, come out to Getting Wild with us. Come connect with nature and get dirty and love it. Come get tough. Come get soft. Come connect and discover the truth about who you really are. Own your voice. Align with your passion and purpose. Free up that drama energy. Align your life fully. Shine fully. Love your life. Thank you, sweetheart. You want to say hi to my friends? Right here. Say hi. Over here. This one too. Right up here. Right up here. Say hi. That's heaven on earth. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you found tremendous, tremendous value. Speaking from my heart, so much to cover, so many topics, so many rabbit holes. I'm a crazy dude. I'm a weird dude. I like it. It's so worth it. Thank you for honoring me with your presence. Bearded wonder, she calls me. This is just laziness and busyness. I'll be shaved in the next couple days, at least trimmed. I like a little fuzz, but I don't like this stuff down here. It feels kind of scraggly. Daniel Winter, life-changing. Welcome. Jonathan moves so much with the purge, yes. Thank you all so much for being here, for meeting me here, for being willing to listen to my craziness, my ramblings, my heart, my passion. If you're called to work with me, please allow me to serve you. If it's not me, please find someone else. If you're climbing Everest, get a guide. Just do it. If you're called to work with me, reach out. Seriously, let's get you to a live event. Let's get you in our group coaching. Let's get your business launched. Let's get your confidence owned. Crazy motherfuckers. Yep. Thank you, Lottie. Lottie says I'm hot no matter what, even if I am crazy. The crazy crazies. Post your questions and comments and requests, guys. Keep me posted on how I can best serve you. Let's engage and exchange and serve each other in the best ways we know how. The people just right here on this call are so talented and gifted and able. If we just combine the 60 or 70 minds we have right here together, we could conquer the whole world. We could shift economies and governments and policies. We could end racism and bigotry and sexism. And we could all prosper and thrive, and no one would need to starve ever again. It's in our hands. Let's be the change. And let's stop moving slow. Seriously, guys. If you're called at all, reach out. Reach out. Ask me. Ask me and my team about our processes, our tools, our programs. our live events. It'll change your life forever. And you can't put a value or a price on it. You're amazing and you're powerful. You deserve to be seen and heard and acknowledged. You deserve to thrive. I'm here to help you when you're ready. Thank you so much. I honor and appreciate all of you. Thank you for blessing me with your time, with your presence, with your hearts, with your beautiful smiles, with your attention. Blessings. Have an amazing rest of the week. Have an amazing weekend. All the best to you in all the forms. Brandon's like, did you hit record? I love you guys. Take care. Talk soon.